Hi guys, this is Cara Aljoe, author of Hustle Girl, How to Be Brilliant and Get Things Done, and the creator of the fabulous Facebook group, the Hustle Girl Community on Facebook. It's your digital spot to get clear on your goals, to develop rock solid confidence, and of course, create the lifestyle that you desire. In today's video, I want to share with you how to kick fear's ass. Just simply put, if you're watching this video somehow, some way, you are an author, a coach, a speaker, consultant, perhaps a nonprofit leader, an entrepreneur. You have thought leadership that you need to take and turn it into products and services to help the people that you want to reach, But although that seems like a wonderful thing upstairs, there are a number of different things that stop those thoughts. And 9 times out of 10, most of the time, fear is one factor that keeps us from really taking that next step and going on the path of creating our reality. Not living our dreams, but creating our reality, actually living that out and doing it. So I want to help you accelerate past that point. I have experienced it. Everyone experiences it. But over the years, I've learned a number of different strategies that have helped me to reduce the fear, eliminate the fear, and really push past tired when I'm becoming fatigued with those things and moving forward in what I really need to do. So let's get right into it. So there are a number of different ways that fear shows up. It's not just saying, yeah, I'm afraid of writing that book, or I'm afraid to pitch and ask to speak on TV or on the radio station. I mean, I know I've got good thoughts. I know I'm a great person. I know I went to school. I know I fill in the blank, okay? But there's always a but. So the first thing, before we even talk about the different types of fears, I want you to really listen to yourself this year. Take time when you're speaking and even when you're thinking to hear how many times you say the actual word but. I want to write the book, but. I want to complete my marketing map, but. I want to insert whatever goal, but. When you say but, you're canceling out all of those other things. I love you, but you don't make enough money. I love you, but you don't treat me like I want to be treated. Like, that cancels out the first thought. So catch yourself when you're saying but, especially when it comes to you and your business marketing, especially when it comes to you actually setting the time that you have to create what it is that you think or you say you want to do. Point in case, today, I wanted to create this video for you guys. I'm slightly behind. Now, this is real. This is me telling you about my dirty laundry list, okay? My Post-it. I wanted to create this video for you today, but I also said yes to an engagement that I really wanted to do, and that was going to bring me immediate value. So I was like, yes, and yes. Okay. But the little time that I do have, I've got a few hours in between what I said yes to and what I still have to do. Okay. I'm taking this time to make this video for you. Why? Because I took time before I said yes to this event, and I'm clear on my goals. I know that out of all of the things that I want to do with my business, all the things I want to help you guys with, I know that overcoming fear is a major thing that I want you guys to begin, because it's always a journey, okay? You want to achieve everything after this video, but you will begin to make the steps to where we will reduce it as time goes on. So I need to give this video to you guys. Therefore, I've prioritized the time to do it. It doesn't take anything long and drawn out. It's just a matter of getting to it and executing. So my priorities are lining up, even though I've got some things that really weren't on the list or on the schedule or what I predicted. That's an example of being in a tight situation, but making the best of it, making sure that you're clear on your goals and actually following through with it. So things won't look the way that you want it to look when you're creating your brand, marketing your business, creating content videos such as this. You're going to have to get used to being focused and being clear up here. Okay. Of course, mentally, logically, but even spiritually within your third eye, your intuition, and be creative with when and how you'll actually execute the things that you want to get done. So that's just a little tidbit before we actually dive into this meaty content. So number one, there are a lot of different ways that fear comes up for us leaders and entrepreneurs. Sometimes you may be afraid to become successful. Sometimes you'll be afraid to be a speaker, to be an actual leader. Sometimes you may feel inadequate and even be afraid of failing. And all of these things are very common. Everyone experiences them, no matter how much money they make, no matter how many degrees they've obtained, no matter how much help they do not have. Everyone experiences these things on some type of level. So one thing that I want to talk to you about if you're afraid of succeeding is ask you about your old mindset, or I should say your past thoughts. How did your parents teach you about success? What's the mindset? Were your parents successful? Did you all even discuss success? Did you define it as an adult? Your current mindset. How do you define it now for yourself? Have you achieved success? Do you know what that even means? A lot of times when I'm working with women, especially initially in the hustle session, it's where a woman has an idea and or she's already been in business and she wants to get clear and actually strategize and accelerate in her marketing. And a lot of times I'm asking them, okay, so hey, welcome to the hustle session. I'm here and I tell them all that I do. Now, why are you here? 9 times out of 10, they don't know. They don't know why they're here. They know they need to make an investment. That's something that they were taught. They know that they like me. They like my vibes. I like their vibes. We're going to work together. But ... See how we canceled everything else out? They're not sure where they want to go. So in that session, I pull things out of them, taking my teaching and counseling experience, and then we begin to put it on the table. And then I'll create and help them to add shape to their actual ideas and thoughts. And that's something that's priceless, but it's also something that can affect your current mindset. Maybe you're thinking to yourself, I don't have any money today to invest in a hustle session, or I want to write the book, but I don't have any capital, to invest in such a project like that. Think about your current mindset, because it can be that you're just afraid, and that is what's keeping you stuck. It's important to talk to people like me, because I've been there and done that. I suffered with lack and fear and all of that for about 7 years. And when I look back on what I've done since those 7 years, I've done some amazing things, and I've helped some other women do those things along the way. But what if I would have really used these things that I'm sharing with you today 7 years before that? I would have 14 years under my belt as an author, a public speaker, a business coach, all of that versus 7. 7 is good. Don't get me wrong. Your girl is grown. I am transforming into the butterfly that you see today. But it probably would be even better with 14 years. I'm just saying. Fear is the trigger point between those two what ifs, okay? So think about your current mindset. And then hear yourself after you say, but. If I do blank, then I'll be successful. But that may mean that, and then all of these negative thoughts, these time-consuming thoughts, these expensive-ass thoughts start flooding in. And 9 times out of 10, if you do come up with an expensive or time-consuming project, chances are, hopefully you're working with someone who has been there and has done that can help you accelerate that process. See, the process will be long if you do it by yourself. The process will be long if you don't have any money. But when you invest and work with other people, when you take the risk of sharing your brilliance, so all that's up here, your intellectual property, when you work with someone like myself that's a content creator, I know how to take those thoughts and turn them into blogs, podcasts, products, and services. That's my jam. That's what I do. But if we never get together to have that moment where I share with you, you may not know. So don't say if then, say if, and then figure out who can help you to create whatever you came up with is. Get help. Every winner needs a coach. And I'd love to help you along with your content creation so that you can market that message to the masses, okay? So don't think about the negative situations. Take that energy and seek support. Okay? That may not even be you working with someone. That may be you re-strategizing your schedule and blocking out time to write. Okay? Think of a solution, not the negative outcome. Think of a solution that will give you acceleration, that'll move you closer to your goal. And then ask yourself, like I said, have you taken out the time to, one, share your thoughts with someone? It doesn't even have to be a coach that you invest with yet, but have you taken the time to share your thoughts? Have you taken the time to listen to yourself? In a hustle session, sometimes I'm working with women and they're telling me these things and I'm like, okay, so I heard you say da 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 da. They're like, no, I said da 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 da. And then I repeat it back to them. Okay, so if I'm hearing you correctly, you said da 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 da. And they're like, what? No. Listen to yourself. Sometimes you're able to take out the silly stuff just by writing it down or recording it on audio and hearing it yourself. Sometimes you're able to get surefire clarity on your mission statement, your next campaign, your next product or service, if you would just take the time to sort out those thoughts and organize them. It takes time to do that. And you can't really do that effectively on the go or just merely thinking. You've got to prioritize, set some study time, and write the message down. All of the thoughts that I'm sharing with you guys today have been written down. Are they eloquent? Is it a Word document? Is it all jazzy on a presentation? No. But are my thoughts now written down? Have I taken out things? Have I switched it up to I wrote this and I read it again? I'm like, no. This would be easier if I said that first. You have to take time to write the content down, okay? That's going to give you clarity, which is going to help you to deliver your message, okay? So, and as I said, the last point, invest with others to create the clarity. When I started working with the business coach, well, she was a life and business coach. I really didn't know what the business was going to be yet. I knew that I had an entrepreneurial spirit, but I wasn't sure on what it was. At that time, I was solely thinking about theater. That was my undergrad degree. So I was like, yeah, and maybe I'll open up a theater or be a producer or something like that. But it wasn't sure. It wasn't until I invested with her and started working on some of my life issues that I began to gain clarity, and start like wiping the dust off of some old gifts that I had let lay dormant during those 7 years of, I'll call it the dark ages. When I was in depression, I was in doubt, and I was in debt. When I was dealing with all of that, I said to myself so many times, if I had more money, then I could do this. If I did this, then I could do that. Or if he didn't do that, then I wouldn't be in this. But it wasn't until I started shifting the responsibility that I began to realize that I lacked clarity, and it was my responsibility to get that however I needed to, even if that meant working with someone else, okay, and investing in myself. Number 2, you may be afraid to achieve the things that you want to do because you don't want to be a leader. You are a leader, but you may not want to lead because of the fears that come along with that. And I wrote down, mainly that's just because of the knowledge of the responsibility. Just like I shared in the point before, at the end of the day, I had to assume responsibility for my success. I had to figure out that I do need to define it and that I need to make it work for me in my life right now, not come up with this whole thing of what I want to do 20 years from now. But what does success look like for me right now? Success looks like for me right now in 2018, the glow up. What's the glow up? I want a smaller waistline. I'm 40 pounds down. I want more money in my bank account. I've got 2 boys. I'm a single mompreneur. And the third thing business wise, besides the success as far as money, business-wise, I just want to be consistent this year. This year, 2018, is Cara versus Cara. So success for me at the end of 2018, December 2018, as I get ready to spend time with my family and open up the gifts and spend good time reflecting on the year, I want to reflect on the fact, girl, even though you had a lot of lemons in your picture, okay? You squeezed the hell out of them and made it as sweet as possible. You turned all of your lemons into lemonade. Not only did you turn your lemons into lemonade, Cara, you actually poured it in a cup and sold that sucker, okay? And that's what I want to say to myself at the end of this year. I want to say, you did this, and these are the 3 things that you promised yourself in January, really in December, that you were going to go all out in. This year, you, Cara, you're going 100%. And so that's what I'm focused on this year. Not, I want to become a insert random ambiguous goal, but small goals that can go within a 12-month span that I can break up into quarters and then make sure that I'm reaching that point so that in December, I'm actually saying, well done, Cara. Take responsibility for yourself. But that's a lot of responsibility. Right? I told you I'm a single mom. I told you that I've got a lot of responsibilities. I do more than just hustle, girl. You know, that's a lot. And sometimes those responsibilities start popping up in our head, things that we know we'll need to do, things that we know we'll need to change. It may mean less outings. I won't be able to go kick it as much because that kicking it money is going to become investment money in a coach, investment money in my work, my website, my CRMs, my marketing, all those things. And those things may make you a little uncomfortable because then you begin to think, how am I going to do that? How much money do I need? I don't have enough money. That's the whole reason why I'm making a business. All those different things start coming up when you really need to just get quiet, write those thoughts down, and get clear on them. Once you get clear, the creativity will come. You're feeling blocked creatively because you are not clear. So one thing, what do you think leaders do to become successful? Going back to the first point, think about that. Those are things that you are unconsciously thinking for yourself also. So I want you to think of your top 3 leaders. For me, top 3 favorites: Oprah, Beyonce, and Michelle Obama. Honey, I love them. I'm sharing their quotes. I love their pictures. I love everything about them. They inspire me to the max. But I also know that Oprah has been in this game for a long time. Beyonce has been in this game for a long time. Michelle has been in this game for a long time. These aren't spring chickens. These are women who have done what they needed to do, and they are running the race consistently. Sometimes that consistency scares me because I think to myself, oh my goodness, that means I have to make sure that I am disciplined. That means I do have to show up and commit, etc., etc. And based on my lifestyle, based on what I'm thinking, those may be things that keep me back from what I really need to do. When instead, if I take responsibility, I'll actually own up to that and begin to execute accordingly. Don't have to be perfect right away. You just have to make sure that you continue to keep doing it. And as you keep doing it, you will stop doing the mistakes. You will stop making the mistakes. You will get better as you continue. But some people never start. And then I want you to think about, I wrote, you may think the opposite. You may think your end goal. You may not think the next steps. You may think about just the end goal. At the end, I want to be insert goal here. But that may be too big of a goal right now. That big goal, the big picture, may be too overwhelming for you. Oprah did not imagine that she would be where she is. Well, she may have imagined it, but she couldn't have let that big goal, okay, what we see now, deter her maybe 10, 15, even 20 years ago, you know, when she was fired from the news station. I'm quite sure somewhere she knew, that's okay, I'm going to get better. One day you'll see me. She didn't know it may not have necessarily come out the way it did now in 2018, but she knew somehow, some way, the end goal was going to be bigger than where she was currently. But if you're feeling that way, maybe you need to flip it around and not become overwhelmed. A lot of times people are like, I'm just stressed out. I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. You're not overwhelmed. You're unwhelmed. organized, going right back to the beginning, you have to get clarity. And the best way to get clarity is to work with a coach, okay? Last but not least, you may be afraid because you feel like you're inadequate. Being inadequate is something that a lot of people face, especially if you haven't gone through traditional ropes like everybody else. Maybe you didn't finish college. I know some entrepreneurs, I know some 6- and 7-figure earners personally who have not even finished high school. At the end of the day, you can Google, like, you can watch Disney and see how people who were the underdogs still ended up coming out on top. You don't really need me to go through an example about that. And if you feel like you're the underdog, if you feel like you need to still get that degree in order to feel XYZ, go get it. Once again, it's you versus you when it comes to you grabbing the keys to your success. You cannot let the fact that you didn't finish your cert, the fact that you didn't finish your degree, the fact that you did have kids, you can't let any of that keep you back from getting what's yours, okay? Go get that shit. Just had to say it like that. Take time to meditate, not think. Take time to meditate about the fuck-ups. Not the fuck-ups that other people have done. If only my ex-husband had loved me right, I would have still been miserable. That I just came to an epiphany this week. 10 years later, this is my life I'm talking about right here. 10 years later, I realized that even if my husband at that time had loved me the way I wanted to at that time, okay, I still would have been unsatisfied. That one did something to me. That one changed my whole thought process, okay? Because I began to meditate on it, not just think about it. See, when you're thinking about it, you're thinking about what he did and he said and what I said back to him. That was my reaction because you're thinking about it logically. But when you begin to meditate and tap within spiritually, emotionally, now you're talking about your soul. And your soul is a blend of your mind, your will, what you're willing to do, and your emotions, how all of that comes out, okay? So don't just think about it. Meditate on it through your mind, will, and emotions, and that will give you ultimate clarity. That right there will give you clarity that no coach can offer. See, some things you do need to invest in with the coach, but other things, only you will be able to determine that. Sometimes there are no wrong answers. It's just a matter of your choice in which way you decide to move forward. Okay? Only you will be able to know that. And that's your responsibility. But a lot of people don't want to do that. A lot of people don't want to do that because it makes you vulnerable. It takes time. It takes consistency. Sometimes you will have to invest. Most of the time you will have to sacrifice. And that makes us uncomfortable. And we don't like to be uncomfortable. But you get what you want, what you need, those desires, those dreams are really built in the uncomfortable spaces. I could tell you about it, okay? I could tell you that personally. The more I'm uncomfortable, the better I'm coming out to be. Because I'm like, okay, this is making me focus. Sometimes the uncertainty, just all of the crap is what you need to help you put the blinders up and execute. Do not let the distractions distract you. Get clear, and when you see these distractions all around you, tap within and remember who you are, and who you serve, and execute. Put the blinders up. See, the thing about the blinders is that you still can see what's going on, but you are focused. Clarity is key. And if you feel inadequate, 9 times out of 10, you just are dealing with some unresolved issues regarding areas where you've let yourself down or where you have not completed what you've needed to do. So as you meditate, write those things down and then get your clarity. Talk with a friend, talk with someone that has a little bit more experience than you in it. Seek a coach. Speak to someone in the spiritual area that can help you with that. You have to reach out. Don't keep it in, and don't keep that issue to yourself. You've kept it to yourself for a long time. It's time to share it so that you can get clear and heal from it, so that you can glow up. Okay? So after after we've looked at these 3 different areas, fear of succeeding, fear of becoming a leader, and even fear of being inadequate, it's important to do the steps that I'm telling you. Sharing your thoughts, taking time to write them down, and then sharing them. And then also listening to yourself. Say that out loud. There are times when I'm finished with this video, I'm going to play it again. Okay? I'm going to play it again. I want to hear my thoughts. I may hear quotes to add to my content. I may hear something that I said, it didn't even need to be, I said it totally wrong. I'm going to listen to what I've said. Why? So I can gain clarity and I can create a better opportunity the next time that I share it. And then last but not least, invest with other people so that you can gain the clarity that you need. If you are looking for clarity, if you know deep within, yeah, Cara, I've been being a punk about it. I've been half-stepping. Every now and then I'll post, or every year I may host 1 or 2 events, or I've never even asked for the sale. You know, I want to help you. I want to help you from going like 10%, and I want to help give you the strategies and the resources that you need to help you go 100%. Think about your phone. You're out in the desert, okay? You have just 10% left on your battery. Fear instantly kicks in, not because you don't have enough juice to make that last phone call and ask for help in the middle of the desert, but you know that that's all of the energy that you have left to call someone. There's another 90% that you could have used to reach out and ask for help. Sometimes we are used to operating on that 10%, and we've been so good at operating in that uncomfortable position that we've done it for years, for decades, for some people centuries. You've worked in default at that job, knowing that you wanted to do something else. 20 years, you've known that you wanted to do something else. This is your sign. This video is so that you can get clear on that. And I would love to work with you in a private session that can be recorded, so that after we work through it and after you get the clarity and confidence that you need, now you've got a video that you can press rewind and hear yourself, see yourself, which will also give you clarity. But it'll also give you fuel to make sure that the next time that you have another session, or the next time that you see yourself shining in the light that we've worked on together, you know for a fact that you're much better than where you started. Okay? So hope that this video helped you. It's time for you to kick fear's ass. We are not in this group afraid to be speakers. We are not in this group afraid to be leaders. We are not inadequate. We are forever students, and we're always going to be able. See, it's not that you're inadequate. You have the opportunity to learn. Switch it around. Make it work for you, and get clear on your goals so that you can develop rock solid confidence and live the life of your dreams. We want to create a reality where we're doing the things that we've always wanted to do. That is only going to come when you kick fear's ass, okay? Kick it. It's fear. It doesn't belong with you anyway. The second you become afraid, stop, quiet yourself, and tap within. It is so important that you continuously kick fear's ass. Continuously tell it where to go. Treat it just like a buster, like a scrub. You don't even need to be here, fear. You've got to go. And I'm telling you, when you link up with other women who do the same thing, as soon as you start saying something that's off course, as soon as you start talking about doubt or speaking death over your situation, your other sister's going to be like, girl, you tripping. Let's go out. Let's go for a drink. Because clearly you need to unwind and release, because you're so much more better than that. The second you decide to go back to your old ways, you've got a friend that's on the side like, hey, you in your comfort zone. You're not really doing what you said you're going to do. I don't see the change that you said you wanted to make last year. I don't see you really doing that right now. Iron sharpens iron. So if you also want to get connected with some like-minded women who will keep you on your toes and will also help support you in kicking fear's ass, I've got a girl gang. And they're known as the Hustle Girls. And we're supporting each other in doing this very thing, okay? And I'd love to invite you. You can go to bit.ly/join the Hustle Girls. And you can join us there for free on Facebook. It's an online digital community to help you in your business preparation, specifically in business marketing. And if you'd like to get help, get coaching with yours truly to help you to develop content, or even if you don't even know what the hell that means yet, if you just want to talk about the ideas and get some clarity on that, I'd love to work with you too. And you can book your session at bit.ly/work with Cara. That's WERK with CARA, Cara like Sarah. So I won't keep you guys long. I promised that this masterclass was going to be 30 minutes or less. Work with me, bit.ly/work with Cara, and join the free community, bit.ly/join the Hustle Girls, so that you can get clear on your goals, develop rock solid confidence, and create the business that you were destined to share. I'll talk to y'all. Bye. Go kick fear's ass.